All right, welcome to our webinar on weight management and just hoping to give you some tips and ideas and going through some really important specials that are actually ending. Tomorrow's the last day of the month, so we want to make sure that we put all this information out there so you have all the tools you need to make a decision. And if you are jumping on board with us to move forward and improving your health, then we would love to be able to, again, go through and give you all the tips and ideas that you need to help with improving your health and working towards a healthier you for the future. Real fast, I'm Amanda Villarreal. I have been in the fitness and wellness industry for about 24 years now, and I'm a personal trainer, group fitness instructor, nutritionist, and thankful that I have found a company like Shaklee to partner with to help my family and my clients. We also have 5 children that are all very active, and I'm very thankful that we can work all together to help to be able to make a difference in people's health and in our family's health. So very quickly here, I wanted to mention, a lot of times how we like to begin with improving our health is starting with a way to really help get our bodies prepared for what we're going to be doing nutritionally. So we have, lots of ways that we can do that. And many times just by someone beginning with maybe cutting sugar out of their diet or looking at how to maybe cut caffeine out of their diet. Those are all awesome steps, but sometimes we may even need a little bit more. So an awesome way to look at really getting your system kicked in and ready to go. And if you've ever struggled with, the weight fluctuations in the past and really getting your body ready to go in your metabolism, I really suggest checking into something called a cleanse. We do different versions of this, a cleanse or a reset, but this is the perfect way to, again, just prep your body, help to get your insides cleaned out and getting you ready for what your next steps would be. And when we look at weight loss, remember this is not a quick fix. Whenever we want to make some changes, we want to focus on making this a long-term health-focused program. And anything that we do, again, it's not a matter of, you're going to just make one change. We want to look at continuing to make those small changes, which you'll hear me say that throughout this. Small changes really do lead to making a big difference overall in our health and life. So when we think of weight loss, I think it's really easy to get in our mindset that weight loss could mean, you're obese and you have to lose 30 plus pounds. But for a lot of us, it can be a matter of losing 5 pounds that really makes a difference in our overall health. And you can see some of the things here listed, things that we know weight is related to, like diabetes and high blood pressure. But even things like you'll see gout listed on here and depression, even for healthier pregnancy, for asthma. When we carry extra weight, our body has to work so hard to continue to just maintain a healthy state. So if we can continue to work on trying to reduce some of that extra weight, it is amazing how it can affect every system in our body. And I've had clients and people that, they struggled with, for example, migraines for many years. And, thinking they had to go on some type of heavy painkiller, they lost some of their weight. And it's amazing how their migraines went away, just as an example. They started to sleep better. It just, again, you really be surprised how when you start to make those changes, other things start to improve also. So here's that saying again, small changes lead to big results for your health. And our goal overall is to help to teach people to eat healthier and to make sure that we are getting in a great mindset for exercise. When you do one or the other, you're not going to be as successful as if you do improvements in your diet and exercise also. And then adding healthy supplementation, because our food has changed so much and we don't necessarily get all the nutrients we need from our diet today, supplementation becomes a mandatory part of helping us to be our healthiest selves. So we are here to help you make those changes and just to kind of share, a few testimonials, which I think that these are always very powerful. And this is Charles, just to give an example of someone that, he has kept off the weight to still today. And again, that's very important, right? We're not looking at, we lost our weight and it's off for 6 months. We want that, whatever those changes are that we're working at, that is still, I want to see you 10, 20 years from now and you're still at that healthy place. And, one of his big motivations was having his daughter. And that was kind of his deciding factor he needed to do something different. And if you listen to his story, it's great to hear how one of the things he loved best about this is how simple this is. And I also think that today, one of the really, really big challenges we have as a society is we want everything fast, quick, and easy. And that doesn't necessarily mean healthy. So when we can find options that fill all of those needs, that we can do this in a quick manner, still, live a normal life, eat with our families, that is going to be by far the best way to set you up for success. This is a husband and a wife. And, again, another awesome way to, help keep yourself motivated is finding an accountability partner. So, lots of people do this with their spouse, or they find a friend, or, we have our Facebook support group that, we'd love to have you in that too, and to be able to ask questions and, be able to gain more knowledge, because this really is a journey. So having somebody with you, again, I think is a really, really important thing that can really make a difference. This is another one that I think this is real life. This is Rachel, and she has 5 kids. And, as you have kids, some of us, it's amazing how those pounds just continue to creep up, and people think that is just how they are now. And it's not true. You can make a difference. It doesn't matter where you're starting, how old you are, how young you are. Your genetics, that's another thing that I hear all the time with, well, genetically, I'm overweight because of that. That might play a small part, but that doesn't determine your future. And be thinking about that as you're, starting to look at making some healthy changes. This is a very, very common cycle that we see with people doing yo-yo dieting, which is a very common concept. And what that basically means is when we go on a diet or we change our eating habits, we tend to decrease our calories. That is what most plans incorporate. I don't care what plan it is. Generally, that's what happens, is you end up decreasing your calories. So when we do that, it puts our body into what's called a feast or famine response. And that means that our body is basically holding on to every little bit of fat it can, because it's not knowing when it's going to get those calories coming back in again. So you lose the weight, but then as soon as you start to eat normal again, all of a sudden your body gains more and you are overweight. So we do this, and then we start again on a new program because the first one didn't work. And here we go again. All of a sudden, we're 5 pounds heavier, we're 10 pounds heavier. This doesn't happen overnight. And that's why we see the cycle continuing to throw off people's metabolism. And as we get older, it's much harder to start to lose the fat. And that's what we want to focus on, is trying to keep our muscle, but lose our body fat. That is truly the most significant place to find long-term success, is not using a scale, but instead by doing measurements and monitoring your body fat. And this is a perfect example. And I could show you guys pictures of some clients that fit this to a T. I have one client in particular. She's very petite. She's about 115 pounds. And when she started, if you looked at her, you would have probably guessed she was about 130 pounds, even though she's small framed, but carried a lot of extra weight. And exercising, going into her plan, she also did the 180. After about 3 months, her weight stayed exactly the same, but her body completely transformed. And this is what our goal should be, is to keep our muscle all there and again, focus on losing fat. So that is a key to helping long-term success. So when you use the scale too much, I believe it really throws a huge mental block, because you get so obsessed with that number that when you see a pound go up, you think you're done, everything's going wrong. Or let's say you had a really good day and you weigh yourself the next morning, you do it the same time every day, and you maybe lost 0.3 pounds. You worked really hard the day before, so you think, well, why didn't I lose more? So it just creates this, I think, roadblock that you're not setting yourself up for long-term success. So I actually encourage you to maybe get your starting weight, but you don't check it again for maybe a month. You work on making the habits, go by how your clothes feel and fit, and go by how you're feeling. And that's what's really going to help to determine if you're having results that are going to last. And when we look at any program, we really want to know that there are studies being done on those programs, and whatever you're putting into your body, making sure that it's clean and it's safe and it's pure. Now, there are some awesome studies that have been actually done on our 180 program, and love the fact that they are focusing on, long term. It says right here, this is the longest and largest study on using a combination of exercise and the 180 program together to help with focusing on weight loss and body composition. So, again, you're exercising, you're eating well, and seeing long-term improvement. So this is the latest study, and I'm just going to kind of walk you through a few points in this here really fast. So what these people did is they replaced 2 meals a day with using a shake. They had snacks in between their meals, and then they exercised. This is not excessive. This is twice a week for 40 minutes, which is very, very doable. And I would actually encourage to look at, definitely more of 3 to 5 days a week for exercising. Mm-hmm. And then they followed their healthy regimen of making sure that their dinners were planned and stayed within a decent calorie range. So really, your calories are not 100% your main focus. We want to be looking at getting into the mindset of eating real food and keeping it clean and trying to cut out the junk. So you can see here that after the study was completed here, that after 6 months, which if you look at any program, most people, it's kind of like when people go to the gym at the beginning of the year, they last for about a month and then they're done. So to have an actual study where 6 months of completion was, a very, very high number. And I think that alone helps you to realize too, that this is doable. It's not a crazy, you're going to drink lemonade every day for 6 months and see how much weight you lose. This is very, very safe. And after the time frame, you might look at this number and think, 14 pounds of fat, and they gained 4 pounds of muscle. So what is that telling you? From a weight loss standpoint, this is our goal. Again, they lost it from fat, not muscle. And out of all of the diets I've ever seen people participate in, I have never found one besides the 180 that people actually maintained 100% of their lean muscle mass in every single participant. So that, again, is showing that you're creating a long-term effect. And the body fat percentage, your body fat is very hard to change. So it's a little bit slower in progress to decrease that number. But again, that's helping you to realize that you're changing actually how your body looks. And that is what our goal is, to be more leaner and, again, to get rid of the body fat. So when we're losing weight, realistically, 1 to 2 pounds a week is ideal. Now, for many of us, you're probably familiar with watching, The Biggest Loser and the Extreme Makeovers and all these shows where people lose 15, 20 pounds in 1 week and, so excited. And yeah, that's great. But think of how much of that, again, is water. And it's because they decrease their calories so much. That's not sustainable. So we really want to be setting ourselves up for long term. And that's why we call this a 180. We want to have 90 days to try to reach our target and 90 days to maintain that. So we're going to kind of walk you through here what that means in a second. But again, I want to highlight that exercise is a big part of this. So for anybody that purchases the turnaround kit by, tomorrow's the last day of the month here, we're going to give you the online workout access so you can have the workouts available to do at home, which is an awesome opportunity for everybody to have some variety in their workouts. There's a weekly plan that I actually post right in the group so you can follow that. So this is free to you for a month to be able to help get you started. So we want you exercising, and then we want you focusing on starting your program. So here's a few key things that I always like to highlight in looking at what is different about some of the Shaklee products. And Shaklee, it's been around 100 plus years. They've always kept the same philosophy, sourced from nature, proven by science. But the leucine is going to be what is really, really the key factor in our shakes and in our bars. The leucine is what helps with the muscle mass. It's an amino acid. So that is in all of the shakes and all of the bars. Everything is non-genetically modified. So again, we're looking at using things that maybe haven't been tested for what they're going to do long-term. So using anything genetically modified is kind of scary because there's no long-term research on that. Nothing artificial. Gluten-free is also something nowadays that many people struggle with. Gluten causes a lot of times, a lot of stomach issues, and people are noticing more and more sensitivities to gluten. So love the fact that everything is gluten-free and low glycemic. So when you are going through any type of change in your eating habits, if we can continue to pair our fiber with our protein to help keep our glycemic levels stable, you will notice a tremendous difference in your energy and how you feel. You're not as hungry. You feel more sustained throughout the day. You don't feel like you're crashing. And that is a big part in why you need to watch what is going into your body with, again, finding that perfect balance of protein, fiber, carbs, fat. It is hard to do with planning each meal. And by having this in a simplified formula, you just drink a shake or grab a bar, it's convenient. It's so much easier. So this is what a day is going to look like. Generally, you're going to start your day with either a bar or a shake. And these are going to provide you, 20 grams of protein. You're going to pair that with your metabolic boost. And I would also add, you should be taking at the minimal at least a multivitamin. Okay, so we always want to have at least the Vital E paired with this. We also oftentimes recommend the Vitalizer. It's a little more nutrition. But this is going to be your jump start for the day. Now, the Metabolic Boost that is part of the program is an awesome product because it helps if your metabolism is too fast or it's too slow. It's going to help to balance your metabolism. So one of the key things in that is ECGC that comes from green tea. So that is going to be helping to create here that natural energy without making you jittery, without making you feel like, your heart's racing. It's just a very natural and clean way to get some energy, but also to be focusing on specifically your metabolism. So you're going to do that actually with each meal. You just take one of these metabolic boosts with each meal. Your snack, you're going to have something you can choose from. You want to still be keeping in note the pairing the fiber with your protein. Ashley, did you have a question? I see your hand up there.
You're answering it right now with the snacks.
Oh, perfect.
I ordered the 180 yesterday, and I ordered the bars and everything, but I was wondering, like, when the bars are out, can you put a different snack in the snack part?
Perfect. Great question. Yes,
Okay.
definitely. So yeah, perfect. When you think of your snacks, you also in your kit will receive like a bunch of suggestions for creating your day, and it will give you some snack ideas. But the things that I like are, even when you're not on this program, are things like pairing, apples with peanut butter or celery with hummus. I always give some of the same examples because I think these are common foods that people a lot of times already eat. But again, you are pairing that fruit or vegetable generally with a protein source. So, there's a lot of options and variety, but you also want to think of your snacks are not your meals. So we want to have, when you look at this broken down, you're eating about 5 times a day. So you're helping to keep the calories distributed. So we're keeping our furnace fueled, which is our metabolism, and helping our bodies to keep burning that fat. And that's why we need to eat every 2 to 3 hours. So snacks are crucial. Don't go from breakfast to lunch just because you're not hungry. And you'll be surprised. You're actually a lot of times not hungry with the shakes, that they really do fill you up, but you still need to keep that concept of eating every 2 to 3 hours. The tea, great to tie in whenever you would like. The tea is going to be your, again, kind of it has chromium in there. It has taurine, things to help with cravings. But it also has 3 forms of matcha teas, the red, white, and green, which all have different properties in how they work in your body. And each tea leaf has different nutritional properties. But the energy component is huge. So if you're someone that really struggles with, coffee, with pop, with some of the things you don't realize are actually addictive, this is going to be your go-to to helping to get through some of those, I want to say withdrawals, but for some people it actually is. But a lot of us, we are, I am definitely a big fan of the tea. We use this every single day. It's also great for before your workout, but just something to give you a little energy boost. Here's your lunch. You can also swap these meals. So let's say you have a meeting with a client and you need to go out to breakfast. Most likely you're not going to want to show up to your meeting at breakfast with your shake. So you could go out to breakfast and then swap and do your shake for dinner, your bar for dinner. You could also, if you are someone that has to eat, you can have extra calories with this. So if you look at the breakdown of what's in the shake, and if you're mixing that with, you can do it with milk, you can do it with water, you can do it with almond milk, but figure out the calories, because most of us are actually going to need to add something with this to get us in about that 300 calorie range. So you might need to have a banana with it. Maybe you can make a smoothie out of it, or you could just choose to eat it. You might want to throw in there a scoop of peanut butter to get a little extra. I have, one of my clients, she just feels like she has to chew, so she has to have something to eat with this. So she does her shake, and then she always has a piece of whole wheat toast with 1 teaspoon of peanut butter because she figured that's within her calorie range now. So, you can really cater this to what you feel like you need. And I love the fact that it makes it flexible. And for your dinner, this is where, again, we're trying to keep that same concept of, pairing all of our foods balanced. This one is, I believe, salmon with brown rice and vegetables. So you've got, again, that complete source of nutrients there that is going to help to keep you, on your track for what you're focusing on, which is long-term health. And that's meals you can do with your family. So you don't have to cook separate. Oh, here's one family meal and one meal for me. That's not life either. We need to be thinking of how we can accommodate everyone. And so we want this to be something that you can do and tie into normal living too. So here's a picture of the turnaround kit and everything you get in this. So right now is a really, really big time for this. And that's why, again, we're kind of really making sure we promote these, that you can get, if you purchase a turnaround kit, 20% off any product through June of this year. So that's 20% off member price. So let's say that you order the turnaround kit and you realize you ran out of bars and you need to order some more. So let's say February 15th, you place your order for bars, you're going to get 20% off member price off just ordering those bars. So you're going to get a lot of savings from now through the end of June. Maybe you just use tea. Again, 20% off every time you order a box of tea through the end of June. And if you are actually doing this for the focus of, improving your health and the weight loss journey, that there's a great challenge that was just launched. So you can be participating in that challenge as long as you order the kit through tomorrow. So after that, you can't be enrolled in the actual challenge, but they're giving away some great things every month. They give away a $500 product credit to Shaklee. And at the end, they're giving away a really big trip to Las Vegas. So just some fun things to, create a little bit more excitement. So check that out. And when you look at each part of this, you can customize these. So the flavors of our shakes. There are plant-based and then there's soy. So plant-based, there's chocolate and vanilla. And soy, you have cafe latte, strawberry, chocolate, and vanilla. So you can customize those. Your meal bars, there's blueberry, almond, there's chocolate peanut butter, and there's white chocolate chip cinnamon. So 3 choices for those. And you have your snack bars. You can get an assorted box, or there's toffee and chocolate crunch. There's coconut chocolate, almond, cherry, and peanut butter. Thought I was going to forget one, but we got them all. So there's 4 options for those. And then your tea, there's pomegranate or there's green. So you can customize whatever you need for this to help make it work for you. So as we get into, understanding more about the products, I also am a huge believer in letting people know that even if you did this for 6 months and you didn't get the results that you were hoping for, there is so much, customer service behind Shaklee that's very different than anywhere else you go, that you can get your money back at absolutely any time. You can use all the products. There's no questions asked, that you can get a 100% refund. So, note that that's pretty important and significant, that they believe in their products that much, that is a guarantee they stand by every single one of their products. So, and if you are someone that, you're really thinking that, I want to do this, I want to, have some friends do this with me, this can really lead into even more of savings options for you if you do know about our opportunity, which, one of Shaklee's big products that oftentimes gets neglected is the opportunity. And this is a way that you can earn income or be able to earn money towards your products by upgrading to a distributor. And that was the other thing we wanted to mention this month, is it's free to become a distributor or a member through tomorrow. So that is, again, a big savings. It's $50 distributor. A new member is $20 fee. So Ashley, I'm not sure if you had your hand up again or if that was from before.
Nope, that must have been from before.
Okay, just checking. I just saw a blue hand up there, so I'm there.
I will say really quick though, I had my blood work done last week.
Okay.
And my cholesterol and triglycerides dropped tremendously since I started Shaklee with the shakes and the Vitalizer.
Hey, that's awesome! Woo-hoo! Yeah. Love to hear that. That's powerful. That's what you're,
Yep.
That's the long-term focus is. So, hey, way to
Yeah.
go. Great.
Yeah.
Thanks for sharing. That's
Yeah.
exciting. So, all right, guys. So last thing, just to kind of recap here real quick, the special. So through tomorrow, you can get the free online workouts. You get the 20% off all products through June. And then there's also an option that if you start the turnaround by doing a health print, that you can also get a free cleanse pack by doing a health print. So anybody can take advantage of that deal one time. So so that's, again, another value and savings. And I also just want to mention that, you know, we are here to support you. So this is a big part of it, is having us available to be able to answer your questions at any time. To, you know, if you need some suggestions and ideas, we do have, again, our Facebook group. So pop questions in there at any time. You know, if you're just struggling, hey, you're having a bad day, you know, ask, hey, what can I do today to help, you know, give me a little pick me up. And I think that that is a really big thing in knowing we are here to help you. So I'm going to go ahead and stop this recording here.